will say this. I will say this one little instance. A lot of these guys, with the exception of a few, have played in some excellent defenses. You know, and I think as we go through this list, and I think maybe we'll transition to him if you're okay with this. I want to talk about Ndamukong Suh because I think it's a very interesting case of, you think about his career. He gets to Detroit and he's dominant, but they're never on a good defense, right?
Right.
So it's never like, oh crap, we got to worry about Sue and oh wait, no, maybe it's Nick Fairley for a year, but then he goes to Miami one, and who's he playing with the Miami? Brett Grimes. That's it. That's it. Rashad Jones for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think he's an interesting case because in my heart, I really don't know where he belongs. In terms of talent, maybe more than Donald. In terms of physical raw talent, there might not be somebody more blessed than Ndamukong Suh on this list. But in terms of the player, where would you like, just thinking about it, if I told you close your eyes, where would you put him? Where are you thinking?
I'm putting him in seats here. I'm going to be completely honest.
B or C, and that seems like a little bit of an underwhelming thing, right?
This is what I was saying, though. This is what I'm talking about as far as like projecting, where the careers can go either way. If we're talking about, if we're doing this list right now, and Ndamukong Suh was in free agency and he was the hot commodity, he was going to go to Miami, and we're doing this in the offseason, he's an S tier guy, A tier guy, no brainer, right?
Yeah. But I'm saying, what if like he had a chance to play in a good defense?
He kind of did, and he kind of showed it with Tampa Bay, right? He was on that Super Bowl team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say he was even near like his powers days in Detroit.
He had his moments, though. I would say that. He did have his moments. He was a big contributor to that defense, but that was the closest thing.
He's got 5 All-Pros. From 2010 to 2016, there's a 5-year run where he was like the best DT in football.
Yes.
You could say, so what separates him? And again, I feel the same way. I'm like thinking B. I think C's a little low. But what separates Chris Jones from Ndamukong Suh? Like, that's my thing. And I will say this. He came into the league when it still wasn't the pass hat. It was on the cusp. But like in my mind, he came in and he was still like an awesome run defender. And he still is an awesome run defender. If I needed someone to go give me like 3 tackles, I'd be like, go give me Ndamukong Suh off the street. I think he can still play. But that's what I'm saying. What's the difference between this 5-year run and the 5-year run like Fletcher Cox's? That's my question. And I'm trying to figure it out because in my heart, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't really say he was all that special, but he played on some bad defenses. So where do we, like, as people doing this, where do we draw that line?
Yeah, I think the more that you talk about it, the more that I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
Like if you switch him and Fletcher Cox,
you're convincing me B
like
right now.
If we switch him with Fletcher Cox, does he do the same crap Fletcher Cox did?
Oh, man. There's a lot of attitude things with Suh, though. Part of it was his attitude.
You mean he stomped Aaron Rodgers intentional, or that guy? No, not him. No.
But I think to a certain point, though, Max, I do think that his attitude and the way that he went about things did,
because
in a
the
sense,
Miami stuff
affect
was
his
bad.
career.
Because you heard about some. Remember, like it wasn't working hard. It was kind of no one wants to deal with him because he's a pain in the ass. I only brought this up because I think that's an interesting case as we look further into the names on this list. Like, it's just is what it is. So
I'm gonna say this: whatever tier we put, like if we put him in B, he's at the bottom end of B. He's not at the top. And if we put him in C, he's at the top of C. I'm leaning B or C. And
let's stick him in B and see where it goes.
Okay, I'm down with B.
Yeah. Finish your last point. What were you going to say about C?
No, I was just going to say this. Like, I think he's a prime example on why we don't jump the gun on the present guys. Where it's like these careers can go any other way. Like, yeah, he was really good, but it's like a lot of that shit we remember, man. You have to go back and you have to remember, like, what was Suh looked at as a player, and he wasn't an impactful rookie, guy.
He was exceptional.
Yes, he was dominant. He was on a Hall of Fame trajectory those first 4 years.
I would agree.
Big dreams, everything ain't what it seems. Glittering gold, both clean. team. This organic, we don't buy